Hellions kind of just scouting around, looking for any expansions or anything that might be up. And for the Zerg players, still getting that Glial Reconstitution, getting another hatchery down here at the, let's call that a 5 o'clock position. A couple Roaches defending it, 4 Hellions now with Infernal Pre-Igniter. Not going to be any bonus damage to the Roaches, of course, though, because it only does bonus damage to light. So Zerglings and Hydras. Banelings are not considered light units, so anybody who didn't know that, I don't agree with that. I think Banelings should be light. They are very small, they're not armored, and it just seems light to me. Anyways, Ventral Sacs coming out for Strife here now as well. Getting it here at his natural expansion, that's going to allow him to transport his units. Maybe see a Doom drop coming up, and we've got Overlord speed already as well. Hydralisk Den just finishing now. Excuse me, let me slow down a little bit. Getting all excited. A couple Zerglings getting taken out, and not managing to get a kill off in this Hellion with only 16 health left. Barracks here still seeing that this hatchery here for Strife at the 5 o'clock is in use, and as you can see the way it moves, it is producing a queen, and anytime it moves like that it is producing, of course. A couple Overlords spewing down some creep on top of a couple Roaches. Not sure if that's just a scouting party or if he's planning on an attack of some sort. Transferring 8 drones over from his main and natural. Main is very well saturated. He's got actually oversaturation, I think. Well over saturation, or saturization, whatever. He's got too many drones here on the minerals, especially for how many mineral fields there are actually left. And his, yeah, not very well saturated here either. Now training his army. We are getting Terran level 1 upgrades for the Thors and tanks. He's got he's got 2 factories. Level 1 did just finish, and now he's going to be going to level 2 or probably soon. Roaches now moving in. Very strong party of Roaches. 23 Roaches, but Command Center does lift off, so he's not going to get much harassment done here. He's going to take out both refineries, so causing about 150 minerals to be lost. But now he's going to kill all 5 or 6 of these SCVs, so that'll be pretty painful for him. And wow, large, and this is the ball I wanted to talk about, guys. For Terran armies against Zerg, this is really tough to counter. When you've got your Hellions with Infernal Pre-Igniter, you've got your Siege Tanks with Siege Tech, and you have your Thors. It's really tough to counter as Zerg. Zerglings are really useless unless these Hellions can be taken out. Roaches and Hydras are very useless if there's enough tanks in siege position and there's enough army in front of them to absorb damage from the units, of course. The Zerg player really needs a lot of micromanagement and a lot of skill in order to combat this army. The Thors, of course, mean you can't really use Mutalisks. If you do use Mutalisks, you need to separate them up a lot. You can't let them clump. They will die horrendously fast to these. And of course, with Vikings in the air, it makes Mutalisk play even harder. Now, if the Zerg player manages to tech to tier 3, oh, and hey, I'm going to stop right now because we are actually using we are going to see a Doom drop. So yeah, those 2 upgrades are fairly obvious. Moving in here to try to drop in on QXC's main base. The army is coming back already, so it will be here in a short minute. Hellions probably shouldn't be engaging right now, as they're just not going to be very effective against all these Roaches and Hydras. The Hydras, yes, but the Roaches, no, I should say. But these siege tanks in here are able to clean up this attacking army very quickly. Thor's not able to get up because the tanks blocked it off. There are still, looks like 8 Roaches in the base trying to take out some SCVs. But overall, I feel like that was a very futile attempt at a drop. With these sensor towers up, he did see it coming, and now he's going to replenish all of these turrets and even put out more. Raven now out on the field as well. Not enough energy for a point defense drone, and Seeker Missile is not finished. They did kill the tech lab off of this starport. Back to my discussion, like I was saying, you really need a lot of micromanagement as Zerg in order to fight mech. You need a lot of smart play, you need a lot of mobility. You have to take advantage of the Terran's lack of mobility, just for the fact that how slow this army moves. And you want to be able to Keep scouts or any type of sight on these units as much as you can, so you want to spread creep out as much as possible. If the Hellions separate from the Terran mech army, you want to take them out as fast as possible with a small hit group of roaches or infestors with zerglings. Once the Hellions are gone, wow, Infernal Preigniter going to work here, causing this Spinecrawler actually being detrimental to the Zerg's defense here, causing all the units to clump up and allowing these, it looked like 8 Hellions to cause just incredible damage to all these Zerglings and drones. So now transferring even more drones off from his main, so he's going to resaturate that as fast as possible. Anyways, once again, back to the discussion. If you can manage to separate the Hellions and take them out, then Zerglings can get into the tanks and cause damage. Of course, the natural counter to the Thor and the siege tank is Zerglings. So if you can get lots of them and get a flank and get a surround, they can be very useful. But the Hellions will just absolutely destroy Zerglings, so those need to be dealt with first. Mutalisks can be used, like I said, but they need to pick off the Thors one by one. You need enough of them that they can destroy Thors fast, and they need to be spread out. If there's Vikings in the air, a couple Corruptors would definitely help distract the Vikings while your Mutalisks can get the work done. Of course, Corruptors can also use their ability on the Thors and cause the Mutalisks to take out the Thors even faster. So a lot of people don't like using that ability, but it can be very good for hit and run tactics. So you'd want to fly your fly your Corruptors in, have them taking damage from the Vikings, spew the corruption on, I think they still have that ability. Maybe it was changed, I don't know. But anyways, if that ability is still the way I think it is, which it's not. Is there an Overseer on the field? Now I'm just confusing myself. I think that was changed. No, Overseers have Contaminate, which stops the buildings from working, and Corruptors still have the plus 20% damage taken to a target. So I was right. Corruptors targeting the Thors, and then Mutalisks coming in and taking them out as fast as possible. Once that's done, of course, your Mutas are free to take out the Vikings and cause a lot more damage to the tanks. At that point, he's going to need a lot of Marines, and you can switch to a Baneling heavy army. Banelings are a very good counter against Hellions and Marines, of course. And you really just have to play the counter game from there. You have to watch what the Terran's playing and doing. You have to take advantage of his weaknesses. You have to hit fast, hit often, and harass as much as possible. Doing this here, letting the Terran get to 5 bases, is just, you're never going to win because the Terran's never going to stop producing, and their units are just naturally stronger. And back to the game here, we've got a large group of mutas, 24, 25 mutas coming in to do some kind of harassment here, but there is a lot